Mandem podcast, episode 185.
Yeah,
We're back for another one. If you're watching, you'll see two new faces. If you're listening, we won't.
Mandem and Mandem podcast.
Yeah.
Mixing out.
Who would have guessed, Rich?
We have two. I want to say friends of the show, but it's greater than that. To be fair, it's a crime that you haven't been on in 185 episodes.
That's Richie's.
We have. Oh, fuck off that. We have Charlene and Ashley from. They are US correspondents.
Yeah.
Mandem Worldwide, Mandem International.
I like that. All right.
Yeah,
Check
we have them on the show.
From Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah,
Brooklyn, isn't it?
Thank you guys for having us. You guys are, I really like what you guys are doing with the podcast. So it's been an honor to be a part of this with you guys and join the discussion. Yeah, man.
Come on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've been, I guess, starting off. We start off every show kind of with just a bit of a catch up.
Yeah.
What's good in? How's everyone's week been?
Oh, go on, Charlene. Tell us.
Coping. It's just a lot. It's just every day is just something. So just got to take it one day at a time, manage, cope. But it's just every day is something. So I try to still live life in spite of everything that's going on. But with work and personal life, it just doesn't stop. So.
Yeah. Same here, really. It's been a bit of a quiet week, I'd say. Very quiet for me, especially after the North London Derby result on Sunday.
I was
on a bit of a downer still.
So
but picking it up tomorrow, big game.
Go again.
Smack up Burnley, and hopefully we have a better week.
Mike, I must say, your beard is looking tremendous, brother.
Is it looking mad?
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Dan. Yeah, man had a little trim still.
Looking good.
Or is this all natural?
What's that, brother?
Are you treating it or are you just letting it? This is just natural.
Yeah, no, man treats it. I got some beard oils and that.
yeah.
It's essential, man. Ash, how's your week been?
Week has been crazy. We get ready.
Wow.
So, and Versus is today, so everybody's getting ready for that.
Who's on Versus tonight?
Oh yeah, who's on today?
I know who's on. It is
we didn't ask you.
It's about you today, man.
It's Ashanti and Keisha Cole. Look out for that.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Ashley. Thanks.
Thanks, Ash.
That's gonna be mad, by the way.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a big one. It's always a bit difficult for us to watch.
Who's you lot's money on? I know who I'm gonna go for.
I know what mine.
I know.
Oh.
Ashanti.
I knew it.
Okay. All right.
No, I feel like.
Yeah, no.
Feel like-
Quantity wise, Ashanti's got it.
When Keisha Cole does Love, though, it's gonna be too much, man.
Keisha Cole's got tunes with Tupac and that.
That one for me.
So does Ashanti.
That's 2 rounds.
I think everybody thought they could sing when that song came out.
And then it doesn't quite sound the same, but you try anyway.
God loves a trial. I think
they got a lot of hits between them both. They started doing some previews on the radio and stuff like that. So more than anything, it's gonna be fun, I think.
Yeah.
But I think they had a large following. Like I remember, we were in high school, so. Keisha Cole had all the girls who were going through breakups and stuff like that, and Ashanti had all the people who just wanted to just be all happy-go-lucky and just So we'll see. It's gonna be fun. Well, I can't wait to see what the memes are after.
Oh, that's a big part of it.
But you can't meme them two though on a funny man thing.
Oh, of course you can. Branding.
Everyone can get it.
That's mad.
Everyone can get memed. You don't matter.
Everybody, everybody.
Can't meme that, because as cute as Monica looked, everybody was still memeing her with her white.
Her boots or whatever they were.
Do you think it will be like an actual battle, like Gucci and Jeezy, or will it be a celebration?
Celebration.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Yeah, I don't think they have any beef between them, so there shouldn't be.
No.
There's no real bad blood.
No, I feel like Gucci was a little disrespectful, but I think
He was
that was
hot.
for the
Oh, he
ratings and
was
to cause
rude.
buzz and stuff like that. But I don't think Ashanti and Keisha have any like
Nah.
bad blood between them. Like Ashanti's
Nah.
from like Glen Clove, which is like Long Island, which is like a suburb, and
Okay.
Keisha Cole, I forget where she's from, but she's from the hood, you know. So you know,
A celebration.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Because
Yeah.
Brandy and Monica had issues,
So-
innit?
Yes.
I mean, they say they
Way
did.
back though, innit? Way back.
They like to. They say to people that it was the industry that imposed that just because of the Boy Is My song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I heard that's what they say, innit? But
what they-
really, I heard Monica like punched her or something like that backstage or something like that.
Michael,
Oh.
yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Tea.
Allegedly.
I heard they both dated the same guy. Like I heard they both like dated Usher or something like that back in the day. So that's allegedly. So that was what that
Yeah,
whole
that's who
thing was
told me,
about,
innit?
but
That's who
I
told
don't
me.
think so.
Wait, who? What?
I'm playing with y'all.
But their mentor was they were both mentored by Whitney Houston. So I think and it was always like a bit of maybe like some student like rivalry, maybe.
Yeah.
But they so.
Fair enough. Rich,
I-
how was your week?
Oh, my week's been a weird one, man.
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
told you, COVID's been in my house.
Yeah.
From last week Friday. My mum's husband, I say has it still actually. He's been kind of licked down. I'm not gonna lie.
Swear.
Like yeah, in this past week, I've clocked how COVID like does, man. Like just can done someone. Like because the coughing is relentless. All of that's mad. So it was from last week Friday. By about like maybe Monday, Tuesday, my mum got it, and they were staying in separate rooms and whatnot.
Oh, swear.
Yeah. So she was licked down for like mash up for like 2 days, and I was thinking, I was just like cooking and just doing all the bits and trying to make life still flow.
Makes a change.
And
Yeah,
fuck
Thank you.
Stepped up.
Finally.
So yeah, and then like she was mashed up for like I'd say like 2 whole days, but then she just bounced back and she's been back to like working from home and all of that. And then I think in the last couple of days I got it. But like minor. I think I've lost my sense of smell and taste a little. And then just like mad foggy, like in thought. Like I'm just like you feel I feel stupid.
But you ain't been tested or nothing like that.
When I got tested,
Since you think that you've got it, yeah.
When I got tested, I
We're negative.
was negative, but that was a week ago.
Yeah.
So chances are I probably have. Like it would have been impossible for me to avoid it in the house. And I got one of these fitness tracker things, isn't it? And that's been saying like, raw, something's up with my breathing and stuff like that. So I think I got it still.
Wow,
So.
even the fitness tracker detected
that's
it.
mad still.
Yeah.
So I hope
It's actually real. What'd you say?
So you paid the money for it, so I hope it tells you.
Doing this job,
So yeah, shout out to Dan actually. Dan had to because it was getting sticky. I can't remember what you probably know what day it was, Dan. I feel like it might have been Wednesday.
probably.
It was
Wednesday,
sticky. Like we had to call 111 for him, and it was like, he's suffering. We need to do something. And they prescribed some medication, and we had to get someone to pick it up. I got sent my auntie to get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this, Dan, but she went to get it, and their systems were down, so apparently they never got the order, or whatever. Then shouted you. Dan got it. Dan's a top lad, by the way. Dan arrived with the medication, and he brought a tub of Haagen-Dazs strawberry cheesecake, and I was like, "That's a good man. That's a good
Top
man."
bloke.
Yeah, the calorie counting went out the window that day, but I feel like that's what I would have wanted if I was indoors.
Play it, Dan.
No, it was a proper nice touch still. But interestingly enough, basically, when we call back up for that second order of the medication, the doctor who prescribed the second batch had COVID and said that the first batch basically would have fucked him. Like it would have made him drowsy and he probably would have got worse.
Okay.
But like when just like fates, just says like,
Mm.
oh, this is gonna happen. Yeah, it was a mad one like that.
Yeah, that sounds all mad.
But yeah, I've been indoors locked up, but for me, for this week, it's gone bare fast. It's just like, I'm just want everyone to get through it. Like, that's what I want. So
Yeah.
good week. Everyone's on the mend now as well, so we're good.
Yeah, good.
We are Gucci.
That's good to hear. Still, Liz.
Yeah, just regular week, to be honest. I caught a bit of a cold earlier this week. So I've some self-imposed sort of self-isolation. But I've like managed to kind of get rid of it. It's just like a little bit of a blocked nose. But outside of that, nothing. On annual leave now as well, so I got a week off the whole of next week.
Nice.
Oh, good timing, man.
Yeah, man, just some time to sit and reflect and just chill out, really. But previous week's just been same week as normal, to be honest.
Yeah. You off next Friday, Les?
Yeah, all week.
All right, cool.
Okay, big plans will be amazing.
Oh,
What can we do? Like, go for a walk.
Oh yes.
Romantic stroll.
Just go for a nice bit of
exercise.
mad.
Before we get into the first big topic or COVID roundup, do you want to say how we know the girls?
I don't mind. If you want.
Do you know, because the listeners are going to be wondering, innit? Rich, you might as well
Who are they?
explain. Or
Family.
one of the girls.
They're just family.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just family. Just over in the States. I remember us going on a big trip to Paris back in the 90s because we've been doing this traveling.
Oh, Richie the Traveler.
Richie pulled out the big guns. Pulled out the big ones.
One day is poverty. Next day is
Yeah. Which one did it?
Pick a struggle, man. Pick a struggle.
We went on. I remember going to a big trip to Paris time ago. And these lot being bigger than me and Jamie, and they used to bully us, they used to diss us, all of that. We used to chief man up properly, like.
What's changed?
Physically as well.
Nothing.
We're bigger now, that's all.
Oh, okay.
We're just bigger now. And yeah, I guess, it used to be quite long periods of time. It might have been like between like every 6 to like 10 years we would link up. But like every time we do, it's like no time's passed and it's just all love, man. I guess that's it, really.
And I guess as we've gotten older, our friends have been around our family. We just intertwines and becomes one big thing. But it's cold. And I feel like this year we've missed out on it.
Yeah.
Last year we had a double dose, and then this year we've had nothing. So. But hopefully,
So for the listeners, when we talk about some of the Mandem holidays that we've been on in the last couple of years, the girls have actually been with us. Met us out in the States, in Vegas.
What a time.
We're two of the guys. We're girls, but we're two of the guys. We're the guys, man.
Yeah, man.
What was our first topic we wanted to get into?
Before we started recording, Charlene, you was talking about you lot are going back into a lockdown, yeah?
Yeah, what is the state of things over there, man?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that.
Just the whole thing, because I don't think we've ever really about the COVID situation.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm sorry, I feel like I'm a horrible correspondent for this question, because there's just like, there's always just like all these stats and facts and figures, and it's just like constant and all the time. And it's just like, so I guess the numbers are going up. So I actually went out last night, but I'm glad I did, because they're going to be locking down all indoor dining and things like that on Monday. So I guess, I'm not sure which tier, but I guess we're entering another lockdown. So we'll see. And they're really like pushing, this vaccine and things like that. So there's like a lot of, there's just a lot of opinions around it, So.
Crazy. I went out yesterday too. Well, I mean, I didn't really go out, but I was running errands. And on my way home, I saw that there was a bunch of cars that were double parked on one side of the road with their emergency signs on. And I'm curious, like, what's happening, because I know there's a club over there. So I happened to get caught at a light, and I see that they're all packed in this club. And I guess everybody's just trying to.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But you know, I'm thinking to myself, if a cop drove by, they would be shut down. Period. Like, why going to risk your business
just for a party?
But then I guess also very tough. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
The only place that I saw that was doing that. Like,
yeah.
I drove by a couple of places. I don't know. People just
Yes.
Again.
What's it been like? Have people generally been sticking to the rules then, or not in the last 3 or 4 months?
I think so. I was gonna say, I would say for the most part, the majority of people are respectful, like they wear masks, like there's like free masks like on the buses and stuff like that. But you know, telling somebody to put on a mask, that could cause a fight. That could cause a fight, you know, like put your mask on, and it's just like I've seen like fights break out, and it's just like, oh Lord. So, you know, you would think, you know, but yeah.
Totally different. And Atlanta, Georgia, you would never think COVID is a thing because they still
I swear
they've been outside.
Open.
They're outside, miss it.
Chilling, packed in a club,
brunch,
party, all of that, brunch, everything. All indoors, not just outdoors. Like everything is just like COVID. Where?
Yeah.
But I actually checked the numbers when I was seeing all of this, and it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad
compared to
other states like California.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
New York at one point, are spiking again. They said that in the first 5 days, the U.S. had 1 million cases.
Jesus.
Of the month. That's insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
I don't know.
One of the things we've been talking about loads is like your mental health. How have you lot, or I guess individually, been dealing with COVID?
Is that for us? I
mean you two, because we've been speaking about this with the Mandem.
I feel like so I'm already like a person who's like pretty resilient. So like when things happen, it's just like, you know, I have no alternative but to just, you know, keep it on push and keep it moving. I guess just kind of sticking with my routine. You know, I go into my office, I would say like partially, like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Okay. And then I'd work from home the other days. And when I am home, I do go for walks, like to start the day, and then I go for a walk to end the day. You know, and it does help, But I just feel like there's just so much stress around me that I can't get pulled into that, you know. So it's a coping mechanism for me to kind of stay just calm, I guess, you know. And I still try to do things. I still try to find out like what's going on, what's going around, you know, wear my mask. And still try to get out, you know? For the most part. I feel like I'm thriving. You know, I feel like I shouldn't say that. You know?
No.
You know, I almost feel like I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I've been thriving in this pandemic. Like just personal wins, you know? Personal gains, just...
Yeah, no, that's cool.
You know? So even though things have been going on, like things have been good. I don't want to jinx it, but you know...
No, more of it, man. More of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ash, what are you saying? How's your mental health?
Oh, my mental health. Let's see. I've been forced to sit with myself and like really think things through. I was always out.
Yeah.
And then now things shut down. I'm like, crap, I can't go anywhere. But now, I actually don't care to go out. It's like I'd rather just go out sometimes, and then other times I try to stay at home. But through this time, like I've just sat down, thought about a lot of things. Doing therapy, self-reflection, trying to read, and just working a lot. The working a lot thing though is what's really getting to me, because I have a tendency in like every job that I have to like not turn off, and I don't know how to say no. So days where I'll work till 3 a.m. and I know I have plans. Even now, like Zoom calls, I'll miss Zoom calls because I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't jump on, I'm working. So I learn how to turn off, and being remote, that makes it hard. Because now you're always
you're always
I think for me, that
something, and I'm like, yeah, actually there is.
For me, that was something that I, and still am, to be honest, finding, or it's getting more difficult in that, like, you start at 9, I wake up at 8, and I log in at 8:30, and then I'm just at my desk. But then when it hits like 5:30, you'll be like, all right, I work till 6. Then 6 comes, all right, I work till 5:30. So you just push it a little bit. You will eat while you're doing work. Lunch and work just happens to be one thing. Like Ashley said, it's true. You don't know when to switch off, so it all just becomes one, and then you become comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So something she said earlier, like sitting with yourself and reflecting. This week I've done a lot of that, and I know I've mentioned a couple of things to some of the man in here. It's just really figuring out what it is that you want to do. Hopefully the world is in a better place next year or soon. So get to do the things that we were doing before, and even more and better things. But the time that we have now, I've used it a lot to just reflect on just the stuff that I've been doing in the last couple of years and doing this entire year. So we'll see what 2021 has to say.
I doubt we've had anything like it, and I doubt hopefully we never do have anything like it again. But
I hope not.
That stuff that people been putting off, and those thoughts that you just been pushing to the back of your mind, like they've all come to the forefront, and you haven't really been able to distract ourselves. I guess a question to Charlene and Ash, I guess, what have you learned about yourself, the biggest or the best learning about yourself, and then another learning from just the wider COVID situation?
Oh, we're getting deep.
We getting deep.
Yeah.
What's yours, Dan? If you had to say,
What about myself? Is that I am.
Hold on, Dan, 1 second.
Yeah.
Any research on ASMR?
No, I haven't done any more research on it.
Okay,
Next week. But no, I think the biggest learning from myself is that I'm able to live with nothing, like minimal. I don't need much. And I think me and Les always joke about it, and we're just like, everything outside, it's nonsense. Everything that we were doing before, there's a lot of rubbish that we were doing. But that's my thing. It's like scarcity to me. It's like I'm so cool with it. And I think sometimes I was probably doing too much, and this has just forced me to kind of wind it all back, and I'm at peace with it.
I agree with that, Dan. But I think the danger, and it depends on how you are as a person. I think the danger with it is that you can become that too much. So I guess we can't really go outdoors. You're mostly You could use, and I was saying to my brother the other day, I had a PS4 the other day just because I wanted to get back in gaming. But I used to game when I was younger. I'd be playing PlayStation for 4 or 5 hours. Anything productive. I can't do that as a 31-year-old. It doesn't work. It doesn't quite work. So I think you have to tread the line carefully.
Don't become a recluse.
Exactly. When it is time to, but then also when it's time, you feel I want to step out, I want to go out, I want to see the Mandem, I want to go for a walk, go for a run, do whatever it is, and then be able to do that.
You guys thought about your learnings yet? Let's give you some time.
Learning about myself. I feel like I'm always on that journey. But definitely having to work home, I've had to clean because I just got kind of sick of looking at clutter. I'm not a messy person, but just things kind of collected over the years, and it's just cleaned out a lot of things. But I guess to answer your question, Dan, I've learned that I've had and I'm getting vulnerable now. I've had some control issues, and I'm learning how to release that, and how those control issues have played out in my interpersonal relationships, and just my relationship with the world. And so what Ash was saying earlier, you know, you do have that time to kind of just sit with yourself, and, you know, things come to the forefront. And I feel like you are then presented with like, you're at a fork in the road. It's like, okay, you can continue just, you know, going on just like how things were, or you can do something about it. And I've been enjoying just kind of finding like new solutions and just kind of new ways of being. And I've just been enjoying the journey. I've been enjoying the journey, you know, just to, you know, I just want to be a good person. So whatever I can do to just, you know, make things gel and better.
Oh, that's cool.
Thanks, Dan.
I would say going back to me saying that I was always out, I felt that I needed to be everywhere and see everyone and see everything. And I realized I like being alone and just sitting at home, not doing anything, and just being unapologetic about it. Like, oh, do you want to go and meet up? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You don't even need a reason anymore, or you don't need a reason to.
And if they keep pressing, I'm like, it's COVID. I don't feel comfortable being outside.
Yeah.
What a nice little COVID card.
Get out of jail free. And I'm actually, the opposite has happened to me, because Ashley and I, we actually lived together for like about a little. Like 3 years. But we've been best friends. So Ashley and I are best friends. We've been best friends since we were 3. We're 33, so 30-year friendship, and we actually lived together for like 3 years. Oh, lots of threes. I'm liking this Trinity, you know, thing going on. And Ashley can tell you I'm a homebody, and with things like actually being locked down, it's actually like has me wanting to be more of an extrovert and, you know, go out and do more things. So I just find it funny, because as I listen to Asha, she's like, oh yeah, I just want to sit down and not go.
Going normal.
I'm like, oh, I think I want to kind of get out and kind of, you know.
We kind of spoke on that, innit, where we said, it's someone telling you that you can't do something. It's like, oh, now you want to do it.
You know. So, you know.
Oh, decent, man. And
great
I guess
questions.
Like loads of people, like we've all gone through it, and I guess some people, would have had positives to take out from it. But I feel like having a load of time to yourself is kind of a chance to address things that were going wrong or things you wanted to do more of. But it's definitely self-reflection has been massive. All in all, it's been like a bit of a crazy year, I guess. Like the Black Lives Matter thing. Like, how was that in America for you guys? How did you manage to navigate that sticky situation? Like,
I will say for me, it's very interesting because I came from a very corporate world in the spirits industry, and then now I'm on the agency side, and I typically was working in predominantly white spaces. Now I work in a space where it's all Black and brown people.
Okay.
When I tell you the difference and like being here during all of this, polar opposites is, I have no words. Like, like when George Floyd thing happened, I got a call by HR. They were calling the company to ask, how are you doing? We are offering free therapy to anyone who wants it. And we're here for you. If you need a mental health aid, just take it. You don't have to say what when Chadwick Boseman died, they did the same thing. Like but I feel like when I'm trying to think, who died? Someone died while I was at my last job, and I came into work and I was super sad. I was again. Not one person mentioned anything to me.
No.
I don't want to fucking be chill right now. Like, do you understand? Another person that looks like me got killed for no reason. Happy because you said so? No. So it's just been very refreshing to be where I am at the company that I'm at. And just seeing everybody come together, especially with Breonna Taylor. It wasn't really publicized, but they had this women go on strike for the day, like not go to work, so that you understand the impact of not having the women at the or like at home doing anything.
Yeah.
We had our images as our Zoom pictures, because we didn't know about it. We learned about it like the morning of, and we already had a really important meeting scheduled. So what we did was we kind of turned our cameras off and all of us had the same picture.
Yeah.
We're white. And so they were like, oh my God, like my boss kind of had to say like, guys, it's okay. We will do the meeting. It's happening, and we will not be attending the meeting for the rest of the day. So, okay, well, we're gonna go with you guys in solidarity, and this is great. And we're like, all right, cool, thanks.
Yeah, wasn't there a lot of that? There was a lot of when when everybody was protesting, and it really was nice to kind of see like the world in unison and in support. But what was weird for me was just kind of seeing like everybody was just like overly nice, like it's like, oh, do you like taking their coat off to lay it over a puddle so you can roll. It was a lot, but it was nice to see, because I've never seen it, like in my experience, whites have just been oblivious to kind of the Black struggle, the Black experience. So kind of just to kind of see everybody in corporate spaces and just around friends kind of just asking like, how can they be an ally, like what can I do, like I don't want to be on this side of it, like so that was almost like a movement in itself, kind of like that shift of just being curious and wanting to know how to do better,
That's quite interesting stuff that you like saying, because we ain't seen like stuff what Astra saying. We ain't seen none of that really over here, have we? In terms of like the workplaces.
I've been able to have more conversations about race, which I never had with white people. I guess with all people, but particularly white people, that never ever would have happened before.
Right.
Like, no chance. Like, why would we be talking about this?
Did you guys have to encounter?
And that's been good.
Like that.
Did we
have to
encounter have to have any awkward conversations with white people about what's happened about race and
and how I kind of navigated that was just like, I would kind of point in the direction to like articles, and like there's one called like White Fragility, and things like that, and like white privilege, and like I just don't feel like I just didn't want to take on that burden of having to explain like why the world is upset right now. Because it's a lot. But I did appreciate. I wasn't quick to like shun it, but I did want to be a helping point you in the right direction, because it's like,
if you want to learn and you want to know, hey, you go, like
so this is where you go, but it's not to ask your local Black friend, like And for certain things you can. I just think of the places coming from. Like, if you really just want to, how do I do this? How do I go about this? Should I say that? And if it's coming from like, a genuine place, like we can definitely have that conversation. But, I don't want to have to be the one to explain in a conference room the plights of, Black people.
That's not your job. You don't get paid.
What would happen? Like, they would just like, oh my goodness, this is what's going on in the world. What do you think? And it's just like, I've been saying these things, like we've been saying these issues, but now that it's on a world stage, it's just like, I don't know.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the reasons why everybody is trying to learn and wants to learn, mainly because people took to Twitter and then they called all these companies out. These companies, we stand with you in solidarity, Black Lives Matter. But then you have those people that would follow them and say, well, let's I have a challenge for you. Let's pull back your curtain. What does your C-suite look like? What does your executive look like? What is your, if it is predominantly white or completely white, then I don't believe your statement.
It's just lip service,
Backlash that is happening, and all of these companies really took a hit. But I think the good thing that came from that is that now they're actually hiring people in those positions of power, so that you know, they're not, so that they can
To cover their asses.
to cover their asses.
Did you say?
Walk the walk and talk the talk. Like don't try to pander me with this fucking message. Wait, can I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, you know, you can't have like, you know, a company like enforcing policies for, you know, what I found is that like a lot of companies are like are trying to have like these committees and diversity, and it's like you can't look to the Black people to be the ones to spearhead it. It needs to be diverse, you know. So again, the executive level should include like, you know, the diversity of your staff, you know. So agreed.
And it's interesting because I don't know if y'all saw it, but like Prada hired a Black woman that I actually worked with when I was at Moet Hennessy to be officer of diversity and inclusion. And it was like a big deal because one, I think they created her position and they were shifting things around. But the fact that Black and it was a woman, because that's another thing you barely see.
Okay.
Power are women. It's just, you know, it's very interesting.
Yeah, there is, I guess there is some change, and I guess what Shah said as well. The phenomenon of what they call optical allies. So people who will post something over here. We had, what was it, the Black Square thing? Blackout Tuesday. And a few of our friends, we had our own debates as to whether one, that is enough, and is it just kind of a passing fad? I guess time will tell. And then I guess as well what Ash was saying here about work. I guess my workplace, I mentioned this to the Mandem, how they put out a statement and they mentioned the George Floyd thing, but it was so flippant, it was in passing. And then I thought to myself, I was like, should I say something? Because it riled me a bit. And I was like, should I say? There was that battle within, and then I was like, no, I actually have to speak up in this instance.
Wow.
So it isn't enough. So I wrote out this email and they got back to me. They organized some private call and all this stuff. And now put things in place to kind of make up for where they've fallen short over the years and whatnot. And I also said to them, as you both have said, I don't want to be the spokesperson for all the Black people in the workplace. It's not that. What should we do? Kind of like learn yourself as well as kind of speaking.
I'm actually glad that you had the courage to even say something, you know, because a lot of people would see that and it does happen and it's just like, oh, let me just keep my mouth shut because I just want to, you know. I'm glad you had the courage to say something and then to see that you are valued, you know, that they actually did do something or at least try to, you know, do something about it.
What about like sports organizations over there? What are they doing?
I can't much on that because I don't watch sports.
I mean, people are still going. I mean, like for the most part, like people still seem to be enjoying sports. Like I guess they'll do the percentage, I guess, of people that can be admitted. Like some states, like, you know, don't play with their football, don't play with their sports. Like they will riot and be at the mayor's office, like, you know. So I think they some allow for spectators, some just don't. They have the virtual. But I think a lot of people have kind of just missed looking forward to something, you know. So, but yeah, I'm not like a heavy on the sports. I dabble here and there, but not too heavy, like you guys, you know. Clubs and stuff. So,
taking a knee though with I think it was basketball players when the Breonna Taylor trial happened and the cop wasn't arrested. And they decided to boycott and not play a game, and everybody was like,
that was big.
It was like twofold. Like fans, of course, were pretty pissed, but then everyone else was like, "No, we respect that. Do you understand that they're going to get fined because they're not showing up?" Solidarity. And then they had like Black Lives Matter statements like on their sneakers or on their jerseys.
On the jerseys, yeah.
So we had something similar in the Premier League football. What was that? For the first couple of weeks, they had the Black Lives Matter on the back of their top.
Yeah, I think it was doing like Project Restart.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's symbolism.
Yeah.
You're not going to say anything. Just a jersey with words is more powerful than you saying anything.
It's a step in the right direction, I feel.
Right. You know.
Amongst other things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where that's how it's been able to be ambivalent for so long, like just not knowing where, certain people stand on things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely revealed a few things as well. I feel.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Lord.
Let you know where a few people really stand on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. Yeah.
No. To Dan's point, initially it has been a crazy year. Crazy year.
Yeah.
And I said it a few weeks ago that it's gone, considering we've not had much to do, it's gone crazy fast for some reason. Which is nuts. But the main topic that we wanted to speak about today, it's actually funny because someone sent it in the Mandem group, and we was talking about it, and then I'm actually in a group with these two as well, and one of you lot sent it. I can't remember who sent it.
Sent it because I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. So I just had to kind of get you guys' take on it.
Is this with the talking about to that girl?
Yeah, I think his I didn't know who he was. I found out later his name was Kevin Samuels, and I guess he's I guess he gives relationship advice, and so it was pretty harsh to a young lady, and it went viral.
Yeah. So I guess we could probably tweet out the clip because the clip's it's too long to play in it. What's it like 7 minutes or something like that? But she was basically saying that she wants a rich guy. And he was just basically saying, you're basically not going to get that in it.
Yeah.
What were you lot's thoughts on it and his approach? Because I guess it's an approach that you don't usually see.
Well, so the first time I saw it, I was like, damn, he's harsh. Like, like because of his delivery, I couldn't hear what he was saying. And but then I listened to it a second time, and then taking away how he was delivering it and listening to what he was saying, it's like, okay, I get it. But if you're trying to get someone to understand what you're saying, I'm very big on delivery. If you want to, like, actually receive what you're saying. It doesn't matter if what he was saying was true. Not every part of it, but a lot of what he was true. But that's probably why she just kept ignoring him and moving on to the next thing. She just asking another question and not sitting there and like, think. She's just like, okay, well, on to the next. Maybe if I say this, then he's gonna change his answer. And I'm like, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't have the same reaction. It wasn't until kind of everybody else was like, that I was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess he was a bit harsh. And I but I found it a little bit comical because I'm like, okay, this is clearly like a video. I thought he was doing it clearly for shock and awe. But I kind of have this perspective, like, I just don't know what happened with whether it be millennials or whatever generation, where I feel like social media has added to it, where I feel like a lot of people are just like delusioned. And, they walk around with all these delusions, and it's like, who gets to burst your bubble? That, like, I guess you want to live in facade or you want to live in fantasy, but and that's okay, and that copes and that works for you. But she did call him. She clearly knew his approach and how
she opened up herself to that, innit?
Yeah, but it doesn't mitigate that he was there. There's just a way, like you can tell your truth. There's just a way to do it. You don't have to tear down someone and make them feel like crap. But I found it it comical. Like I feel like we live in like a world that's just so politically correct and cancel culture, and you do the wrong thing and you're done. And so it's just you rarely see like just rawness. So it was just like kind of just like jarring just to see it for me, because you just don't see that these days. But yeah, I thought his approach was a bit it was hard to watch, because clearly she like just didn't register anything he was saying.
She needs to watch it back. Yeah, she definitely needs to watch it
every
back.
time.
And that's what made it comical, because like while she was trying to like railroad past what he was saying, he's like, nah, but did you hear me?
He was on this embarrassing thing.
That's what made it embarrassing. It's like you not trying to accept, or not even accept, because you don't have to. She didn't have, and she didn't have to sit there and take it either. Like,
no, you can leave.
Like that, I'd be like, bye. Take it. But she clearly wanted something. She wanted some guidance, and I just don't think maybe she wouldn't have gotten that kind of constructive criticism any other way. You know, so I don't know. But I do agree with what Ash is saying. It's like it's hard to hear it if someone's like condescending to you, like, you know, if you want it to be spoken in love.
I definitely agree with you two that there's definitely a way that you could say things, but are we saying that what he was saying was true then?
Yes, I'm gonna say it. Yes.
Like just the stuff that he was saying, because he was calling her like, because it's not we're not gonna talk about her as such, innit? So he's saying like the average girl, so he called her, I don't know what he was saying, like a 6 at best or whatever.
Don't say 7.
You said
And he said you're average looking at best. He said you're average looking at best.
Don't say 7. You know how rude that is.
Because it's all subjective, right? Because he could have said don't say 7, and she could have countered that one like, well, that's what I think I am, and then they would have had to just proceed, you know. But you know,
because for me it's bigger than just him and her. So are we saying that we agree that rich man, successful man only go for like 8s and above, or if they've got dough as well, with no youths, with no kids? Because he kept on bringing up that she's like 30 something or however old she was. She's average looking at best. Her son was like 14 or something like that.
13.
She makes decent
teenager,
So is all of that true? Do we think that that's true?
Let's go back to like the ancient days. Go ahead, Ash. Go ahead. She was gathering her hand. She got a hand gesture. Go ahead.
I like this.
You were saying exactly what I was gesturing. I'm like, go back, and you said to ancient days. So go ahead.
You know, like when people were like selecting, like didn't you have to pay like a dowry, and didn't you like select the best of the best, and like even like in the animal kingdom, like, you know, you want the best one, you want the best, and I just feel like if you're in a position and you have those options, it's like, why would you choose the you know what I mean?
But on the flip, don't you think that we've come a long way, that the best isn't always the best aesthetically?
Absolutely. Everything that glitters is not gold. But at the same time, it's like if you're at a certain level, I think it's about like energy matching or finding someone you're equally yoked with. You know what I mean? You can't have like you know, it just have to be a little bit more realistic. Like if you have like a 7th, you know, if you have a young a school age reading level and you're of a certain age and you say, I want to be a doctor, it's like, I don't want to be a dream killer and say that that's not something that you can do. You most certainly can, but we just know it might just be harder for, you know what I'm saying? So it's not to say that you can't aspire for certain things, but just have that awareness. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people have a lack of insight for whatever reason as to who they are and how the world sees them or views them.
Because I think, I'm not saying that he was wrong in what he was saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate a bit, but
no, it's fine. It's funny.
I think for the most part, and generally speaking, he's right though. Like from what we see,
I think
rich. So for like,
go on.
Unless all like ballers, whatever, whoever, yeah, rich man, we always see them with buff girls or whatever, yeah. Cool. The only time we don't see it is if like they've been with their high school sweetheart or
says.
someone before, yeah, before they made it, innit? Yeah. So it is kind of true from what we can see, innit?
Yeah.
I think
look at a lot of the celebrities, like a lot of the athletes, a lot of American athletes. It's a thing. Like it's a thing. Like once you get in a certain tax bracket, you kind of trade in your old girlfriend for the the designer car or something like that. Like look at people like Kevin Hart, and there's plenty of examples of people who kind of traded in their old for matching where they're at.
And if we're being honest, like Char, you say this all the time, men are visual creatures. Y'all women.
Oh, does she?
No, shut up, Mike.
Women that they can like arm candy. You want around friends and they're like, yo. And you're like, yeah, that's me.
and you guys have been there. Like we've been, as Rich said, we go way back. So it's like you guys have seen my journey. You've seen me with hair, without hair. You've seen me at, and I was bigger, now I'm smaller. But it's like as you get older, you kind of take that into account. Just what is that about? Yeah.
What about the other stuff what he was saying, like about she makes decent money, her son was like 14 or whatever you were saying?
So about the kid part, I feel like that's a conversation for both genders. Like women that have baby mamas, because no one wants baby mama drama. So that part I'm like, but then in the same token, it's kind of like we're getting up there. It's gonna be less common to find a man that does not have a child and vice versa.
Yeah, I guess the older we get.
Yeah.
I'm also curious. He said, how old did she say he said she was? Did he say she was in?
I think she's 31.
31, yeah.
So she's like new in 30s, like with a young.
She's 31.
I think so. She's quite young.
Okay, cool.
So like, I feel like she did make a point, and he kind of did railroad her when she was saying something like, young girls don't want no like old geezers, and then he was like, "You kidding me? I can't beat them up with a stick." But she does have a point. Young girls don't want no old man, and the only way that you would see it happen is if you have the means, if you have the money, because that's the only way you're gonna see a young girl with an older guy is if the guy has money.
Yeah, because I was thinking that when he was like, nah, they do. I was thinking like, nah.
Nah, only if you have money.
Yeah, they want your pee.
But not just for giggles. Nah, that's not happening.
Your heart.
Yeah, you gotta pay the cost, man. So, yeah.
And the thing is, once you get to that level, surely you need to be more like, not picky, but just like you got to know who's coming.
As a man or as a woman, Mike?
As a man, you got to know who's coming to you for what. Both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people don't get to know each other anymore. Like you gotta vet people. Like you gotta take time to get to know somebody. Like just because they look a certain way or they have certain access to resources, it's like it doesn't just mean you just kind of just you
don't just click.
Yeah, you got to actually get to know the person. And that's something that I feel doesn't happen. That happens less and less these days. It's kind of like swipe left, swipe right. People don't really get to know each other anymore.
Yeah.
Part of that, like we didn't grow up in that, but like definitely the first generation to be experiencing it. Gratification all around. People have already forgotten that it takes time to get to know someone.
Yeah.
And they could say 6 months down the line, I was so surprised that but what, you 6 months?
Yeah. 6 months, nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. Dan, I know what you was about to say. I had the same thought.
It blends nicely and segues nicely into a topic we thought about talking about.
and which you probably will. And it's about time and waiting and whatnot. And I guess the example in this case is Diddy and Cassie, and they were together for however long. And this week she announced that she's pregnant with her second child with her new and she hasn't been with she broke up with Diddy, let's say, with about 2 years ago, if that. Had a kid, married, new kid on the way, and I think the internet was going nuts. And it was just talking about, I guess, women knowing their value, how long do you wait and whatnot, and all of the other issues that come with it. I've got my opinions, but I don't know if you lot had seen it as well.
I didn't actually see that, but I was actually really proud of Cassie. You know, she's kind of been this, I would say early on in her career, she was kind of like a joke. You know, people didn't really take her seriously. They just kind of was just like, oh, she's just, you know, Diddy's arm candy, you know, she can't really sing. But, you know, I think that she's a beautiful girl, a beautiful woman. And I think it was mutually beneficial, that relationship. So, you know, who knows what goes on behind closed doors, you know? She clearly was dating a mogul. And, you know, I think, you know, she got a lifestyle that came with that, which is pretty lavish if you're not from that. And then, like Ashley was saying earlier, it's nice to have, you know, a trophy on your arm. So I think they mutually benefited from that relationship. But as a woman, I just think the older you get, like appearances, you know, just don't sustain you anymore. Like things that are attractive, the things that you might find attractive at like 15 and, you know, 20 and 25 and like 30 are different. Like even for myself, you know, like.
Now, would you accept what we call it a dad bod?
A dad bod. I mean, I would at this. I would, only because that's fixable. You know, you can't fix. You can't fix you can just go into the gym. You can, you know, run around. You'll be all right. You can get abs. You can't get a nice personality if you don't have that.
So you accept it as long as that there's terms and conditions that my man goes
like
to.
A project.
Yeah.
A good
it's
woman.
cool. It's cool for now, but come on, bro.
Build a guy? No, I'm not into the Build-A-Bear. No. I'm not into the Build-A-Bear. I feel like, you know, and I think it comes with like knowing your value, knowing your worth, and knowing, you know, what you come with, you know, and if you know who you are, then you know, I mean, I'm not saying, again, like, I feel like women are visual too. Like, you know, I want to look nice on the gram with you too. Like, so it's you know, like, I don't know. Like, it would be nice to meet someone again that we can match our energy. We're equally yoked. But I'm not saying that I'm opposed to a dad bod. But at just first glance, if I'm just like going out and we're like, let's say, you know, and you come up to me in a dad bod and then there's someone else, you know? I mean, it depends. It depends on I'm about the chemistry. I'm about chemistry and I'm about humor. Like, if you can make me laugh, if you're smart, you know, we could work.
Ash don't want a dad bod.
You know?
Ash don't want a dad bod.
She's like, but think about it. Like, if you want to be attracted to the person that you're with, like you do, like, you know?
Of course.
And changes will happen over time. Like, if I get with somebody, like, the goal is to, you know, have a family and, you know, my body's going to change and I want that acceptance. So, you know,
what was your take on it? I don't know, man. Everyone was making it out to be that ex-woman was kind of hard done by and she deserved X, Y, Z. But I feel like it's dependent on the couple and I guess the understanding that they have between each other. And I don't think necessarily that, if you are together for X amount of time, this should happen, that should happen. Yeah, I think it's a case-by-case thing. And I feel like people are probably projecting when they're talking about these things and he didn't love her and she deserved this. Kind of like, you don't really know the ins and outs. And
right.
I feel there's probably more to it. And this woman has moved on and she's achieved certain things that some other people would want in their relationship. But I don't think it's like one size fits all thing.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. But you do, as a woman, you do get tired. And I would say men, I think it's shocking when women move on because it's so hard for us to do. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and I don't want to generalize, I'm just saying, just when a man isn't happy, like, let's say, for instance, with whatever it is, like, I would say more so in a relationship, if a man is not happy, he's quick to kind of go and be out, like, I'm not happy here and I'm out. And I feel like a woman, I guess that comes with like the nurturing side, or let's try to fix and let's try to see, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like at that point, you just get kind of tired of, I know what I want for myself. I know what I want for my life. And if this is not progressing in that direction, let me go elsewhere. But for a lot of time, a lot of women stay long past the expiration date. So I think that's why it's kind of causing like a lot of speculation. Like, you've moved on so quickly and you've gotten, a woman and you got kids.
She checked out years ago.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
Yeah, I agree with what you
I don't
have
see
said.
anything wrong with it at all.
Wait, anything? What wrong with what?
With getting into a new relationship, getting married, having youths. What's the problem at all? Like, I think that's kind of the nature of relationship.
It's the time,
bro. What I'm saying is, if you're in a relationship today, versus a relationship you're in, say, in fact, a relationship today versus a relationship you were in, say, 3 years ago, you're going to get to certain stages much quicker. You just are. Like, it's what happens. It's just the nature of relationships, especially then when you get to a certain age and a woman's got that biological time bomb, if you like. You're gonna get to it sooner. Like, that's, for me, this is like so normal. Like, it's almost shouldn't be a conversation.
Nah, I don't know, man. I'm torn on it,
Yeah, I think
I'm torn. Because look, go on, Liz.
I was saying that I kind of understand what Rich is saying in that, and I guess to my point is that no relationship is the same. Whatever, I guess, Cassie or Diddy had, or what that relationship had, is what they had, and it works. It seemed like it works for them until she left. But then whatever she's found with this new guy, they've just clicked, like Richard said, a lot quicker. No one knows what's happened behind closed doors, so we can't speak on that. But yeah, maybe their relationship's just, like Richard said, moved. It's progressed a lot quicker than hers and Dee's clearly did. And they've ended up where they are now. But yeah, like Rich said, there's actually no problem.
Also,
especially around this age as well. It was always going to happen. Sorry, Dan.
No, I was just going to say, I also think it goes back to what we were speaking about prior, whereby like value and average and whatnot. So for ex-superstar to have this girl on his arm, that is something that he's used to. And I guess the new man, he might be like, I will never ever have a woman any mind to me. So I'm giving you every single thing that you want. And I guess I feel like that might play a part.
And also, I feel like what's not being said is like, no one likes to talk about it, but whenever you're in a relationship and you break up, whoever moves on successfully living their life wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody likes to say it, but it's the truth. Like, whoever moves on and like it's genuine.
The other person's the loser.
Yeah. So it's like, and Cassie is the underdog in this situation, so to speak. You know what I mean? So, it's like, and I guess we rejoice, I guess, when an underdog wins, you know what I mean? Because you would expect the other person, Diddy, to have moved on with someone else, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
Just throwing that in there.
Yeah. Hey, Rich, I was saying I'm torn, because I agree that you will do stuff a lot quicker just because you've been there, you've done it. Our age as well, your age plays a part. However, she's now been with him for like what did we say, 2 years, getting married, having 2 kids or whatever. But it goes back to what we were saying earlier, where we said about 6 months. It's not been a long time. You still don't know each other properly, but now they've got 2 kids, they're getting married. It's been a short amount of time,
I think I don't think you ever really know. I don't know if you ever really know. This is what I'm saying. I think there's an element of faith and belief in it, in All your
Yeah.
relationships.
2 years.
Like outside of even, I think you're my friend until you betray me, right? We're great friends. You can be great friends. 90 years of life. That last year, Mike switched up on man, and I'm like, what? What happened? You don't know. You don't know any of these things. You just you go with certain patterns, if you like, and then I guess after a certain point, it's belief. So, I mean, shit happens, man. Like it could still fall to pieces. But it's not wrong of her for doing X, Y, and Z, and it falling to pieces.
Yeah,
you with me?
Right.
Like, I'm with you, but I'm still
roll the dice.
I'm still torn.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's how we used to look at relationships.
Yeah, but like you see what? So a girl breaks up.
As you get older,
a couple months later, she got a new man straight away. I'm thinking, bro, like, all right, cool.
It depends.
I'm thinking, bro, she was lonely.
It could. Yeah. And if it works out, cool.
It depends. Like some people just click. Like it's a rarity when you kind of find someone that you really just have like a, you know, kind of like a soulful connection, or you feel like you've just known them for years and like you just met. So when it does happen, I guess that's part of just knowing. But you really like it's still a crap game. Like things can still, you know, it really is. But it just comes down to, I guess, the willingness and the level of commitment, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It depends on the person.
And where
like
you're at in life at that point. Like if that's what you want, it's like, okay, this is what we want to do. And this is kind of, they're going to make this commitment. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's like, I agree with that. And I think that's cool that, you find someone that you have the connection with, give it a go. But then there's also the other people, it's just like, they need to be with someone. You know, we all know that we all know people like that, and they always just need to be with someone, have someone there, and they're just going to force something.
That's on them.
Yeah,
I mean, clearly, it serves a purpose. I feel like everybody does things for a reason, you know, whether they're aware of it or not. It serves a purpose, and that's why they're there, and that's why they're doing it. You know.
Yeah.
So whether it's a filling a void, a lot of women just don't want to be lonely, you know. There's like a huge like desperation factor. I feel like that creeps in after a certain age, and I feel like men can sniff it out, you know, and women think they're fooling people sometimes with it. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of things.
Who is he anyway?
He was there. I think he was previously a personal trainer of theirs or of.
So he hit the belly. Oh my god!
Are we having a different conversation if it's a man? Moving on. No, we're not. Fragile male ego. That's what this comes down to.
That's it. This is what I'm saying.
That's what I think.
Yeah, we and why it's such a big thing is because we do live in a patriarchal society. So anything that doesn't kind of benefit the man is kind of like it's shocking.
Frowned upon, and that shouldn't be the status.
You know?
Les, to answer the question, I don't think no way. You just be like, oh, my man's moved on. Yeah.
Are you saying what cold?
Dan, it becomes she was the problem. The one was the problem.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel the same as what I've been saying.
What you'd be like? Oh, my man moved on too quick.
100%.
I feel like I'll be like, he's a rude boy, but I don't want to be like that. But some people would be like, oh, he's a guy. But what
it's a reality.
Go where you're appreciated and loved is just tweet I saw. That's what I saw. So
yes, I saw that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, is there?
No.
You can't be mad at that,
Kevin. It's all a bit mad.
Not everyone involved, man.
Yeah, man. Therefore,
that's why.
I feel like it's more so the woman who like kind of pushes sometimes. I would just say more so the woman that it's kind of evident that, you know, a woman wants like marriage and children, not all, but the majority, you know, kind of want something significant. So if it's like, and you stay with the person and it's like because you want it to be with that person. And at some point, maybe you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's like, you know, I'm not getting what I want from this. And I'm open to the possibility of finding that with someone else. And that she seemed to have found that so quickly, I think that's what's kind of just causing like a lot of, you know, the conversation is because that a connection like that and stuff like that usually takes years to build and time. Happens so fast, and she seems like she's been with this guy, for 5 years already, and it's probably been like 5-6 months. But hey,
It happens.
I'm happy for. I'm a sucker for love. So if she's found it, I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
One topic that I need to, or a question. Are you guys on Clubhouse? Is it Clubhouse? Hey, let's get to
it.
What's Clubhouse?
It's where all the cool kids are. Charlene, I'm like you.
Well, I'm clearly not. So
my friend, she invited me and she was like, once you start using it, call me so I can give you a tutorial. And I'm like, okay. But then I said, okay, now I get why she said that, because I don't know what the hell it is. Use it purpose. I do notice that there are cool kids on there. People that, because it's synced to my Facebook. So all of my coworkers, basically all of my coworkers are on there. But I don't get how to use it. So if you want to give a tutorial now, that'd be great.
I'm not on it. I'm not on it.
It's an invite only thing, isn't it?
Oh, so would you guys?
Like that? It's like house party, no?
I think so, but invite only. Well, I know in it because I'm on it, innit? But obviously,
Mike, you're cool. I got
I might. He doesn't know how it works.
You lot are doing all right, so I might let you lot in it. But yeah, no, it's definitely some invite only thing, innit?
Yeah.
Exclusive.
It's like, I think I call it the Soho house of social media.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ashley did definitely have a membership to that, darling. So Ashley's a cool kid, definitely on the block.
I'm on.
Yeah, I'm not on it. And when I heard of it, it was obviously the cool kids talking about it. But then I was just like, another app, another social app. This is just too, like, people, like, no offense to them, like the average person that I follow on Twitter, they're talking Clubhouse this, Clubhouse that. I'm like, just, there's got to be more that you got to do with your day or evening than sitting on another social media app chatting more shit.
And then you come, you go from Clubhouse to go on to Twitter.
Listen, some people, this is their virtual life, Some people, you know.
I had to turn off the notifications because when I downloaded it, I said, okay, I'll turn it on because I don't know what it is. Not thinking anything of it, because none of my notifications are on my WhatsApp, my text messages. I don't like notifications. It kills my battery.
Same.
So, on, and I had to turn it off because I was like, this is insane. It's like going off. I just turned it off because I was like, I don't get what the purpose is. I was about to delete it, but then they changed the cover of the app itself, and I don't know why that raised my curiosity. So now I'm back to square one.
Oh, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna lure you back in.
Did house party pop over there during lockdown?
Hell yes.
It did.
Yeah. That was the app that they used for high schoolers to go to prom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's a pretty big deal over here. Like, I did feel bad for like the school kids, missing out like on their graduations and their proms and stuff.
Yeah.
I did feel bad this summer. Like,
yeah, I felt bad for them as well.
Yeah,
You're on campus.
Is it still popping now? Because it died off quickly here.
What?
House party.
I think they're trying to come up with more disruptive ways to but they have all these different competitive platforms, and I feel like everybody's using Zoom, unless it depends like what industry you're in. So like if you're in government, you're not using Zoom, you're probably using Teams or Google something, but there's just different platforms. But there's something called Blue Jeans. There's
Blue Jeans. I used to sell that. I did. When I worked for a telecom company, I used to sell blue jeans, bro.
He's not even bannering.
Yeah, I swear. Yeah.
Get your joke, so.
But yeah, I don't know.
I swear.
What I don't like about house party is that people can pop into your house party like complete strangers.
I've heard it's wild. I've not
locked that door.
You gotta lock that up, man.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? I said, who is that? And I thought it was someone else's friend, and everyone was just like, I don't know what this is. So we jumped off and went to another app because that was just real creepy.
Yeah, that's too wild for me.
What was this?
Oh God, yeah, no.
We had undercover police popped up on one of our chats, and they were like, "So who's selling the weed?"
Wait, what?
And we were like, "Who's guy is that?" Like, and he's like, "No, so like, who's selling weed again?" And we were like, "Yeah, bye, man." Like,
nah, we're on to you, mate.
Yeah, we've clocked you. Yeah, crazy times. But yeah, that's what you do in lockdown.
That's funny because I was on a work call and someone cracked a joke that y'all were just getting out of lockdown, but need to go back into lockdown because y'all are not following the rules.
It's messy, man.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Out here.
You can see what's happening,
For the
can't
most
you?
part, we've been quite stringent with it.
Yeah,
We've not been out.
I think it's the people that are out that are just doing the most, bro.
yeah. During like this lockdown, actually, we ain't been out for time.
Not since the last.
No.
So this will be what, October?
We went what, Shisha Les?
Yeah, twice. That was it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Huh?
Inhaling.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't see the particles was going. I'm dead serious when I say like this COVID thing scares me because
it's long, man.
It is true though. It just makes you think that how like queuing up, like being in like concert shows, like how do we do that stuff?
Concerts, man.
Fam, vaccine, bro. That's the only way, fam.
You say
Testing.
straight in the veins.
yes.
Testing.
Guys, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks
for
for
coming on, man.
having
Mm.
us.
Yeah.
Little
We've got to
virtual
do this more.
connection.
We've got to definitely.
Yeah, we got to get this
do
in
this more often.
for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah, and
It was an honor being your American correspondence.
Come
It
on.
was an honor.
and you know,
Thank
as
you.
soon as all of this COVID stuff's done, we need to make it across the pond.
Yes.
Mm.
You already know.
It's our turn, isn't it? It's our turn.
Mm.
It is.
It's that time.
Come on. Remember all the places you lot need to take me, yeah? Remember, innit?
Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles.
We got you.
Places
We
on the
got
list.
you. It's only right. You guys always take care of us. It's only
No.
right. We're gonna make sure you guys
Exactly.
can allow, you know?
Cool.
No worries.
Rich, wrap it up, man.
Wicked, man. No, I'm very happy to have you lot on, and we definitely have to do it more. Yeah, that was episode 185. It's the Mandem podcast.
Keep it locked.
Woo.